We heard from head coach Matt Rule here on Monday as Nebraska gets ready for Illinois. And before we get to that report, this report brought to you by Game Time. There is no better place to get your tickets for this upcoming Friday's game than the Game Time app. Download the app in the App Store. Whether you have Google or Apple, they've got you covered. And we're going to give you a discount as well, $20 off your first order. Use the promo code ON3. That's promo code ON3. Get $20 off your ticket order in the Game Time app. And that's not just Nebraska game. That's any NFL game, any concert in that Game Time app with promo code ON3. Okay, let's get back into it as head coach Matt Rule prepares his team for Illinois, who comes to Memorial Stadium as a ranked opponent. It's the first time we've seen a ranked-on-ranked matchup since 2014 when Nebraska took on number 25 ranked Minnesota.
Yeah, well, you look at their offense, right? I mean, they're a big power running game with a mobile quarterback. And mobile quarterbacks have bothered us. Okay, mobile quarterbacks have bothered us. But they have two explosive receivers on the outside, right? So whether it's Bryant, whether it's Franklin, like they can attack you, and they do a good job of, they try to stress you by putting them both out here. So you either have to play a one-on-one to stop the run, or you have to double them, play cover two or quarters or something like we did against Colorado, and now they can run the football with a 250-pound back. And their other backs got in there this week, and they all ran the ball well. So very well put together with how they're doing it. Those guys, one thing about them is they've thrown the deep ball. They have more explosive plays than we have. I mean, they're throwing the deep ball, getting one-on-one coverage, not afraid to put it up. And they have great catch radiuses. They can hold off a defender and go up and catch the football. So luckily with Tommy's 205 pounds. He's not a little corner, right? And I think Buford's been playing really, really, really well. And Buford can play corner. He played the dime versus Colorado. He's very versatile. And then Jeremiah and Amari can play as well. So that'll be one of the main one of the main matchup issues in this game is how well we do versus those two receivers when we choose to play a run front. Can we win the one-on-ones? How well we do with the quarterback containing him. You saw UNI was using the zone read and all that, and they can do that with the quarterback. They can also, the Wisconsin last year, drop back, quarterback draw, which they do. So it's our front stopping the quarterback, and then, again, the power run game. And, if we give up 180 yards after contact, we won't win the game.
The big news, though, that came out of it is Nebraska will be without offensive lineman Micah Mazuka for the second game in a row. Matt Rule said he is not out, though, for an injury reason, and he'll be unavailable again this week.
No, he won't play this week. He's on the team. He's practicing with us. He's just working through some stuff right now. He's doing everything we asked him to do, but he won't be available.
On a positive front, though, defensive lineman Jamori Butler will be back in the lineup for the Huskers.
Jamari could have played Friday night. I think that was more of got Cam in there. We liked the way Cam was playing. Got Kai in there and just thought, you know what, we were in control of the game. Let's push him to this week and get him a little bit healthier for this Friday night game. You play on a short week. We probably put some of the twos in earlier than I normally would in that game, which was actually really beneficial. They got a chance to play, even on that fourth down, fighting to keep them out of the end zone. I think that was really good for us. So Jamari should be way more healthier this week.
As for this Illinois team, Matt Rule knows they're going to get a physical test. However, in a lot of ways, last week's game against Northern Iowa brought that as well. And Rule liked the way his team responded, not being really satisfied with how they played.
I think we're going fine physically. I mean, I think defensively, I think if you asked everyone on defense, they didn't like the tackling the other night. Our yards after contact, which has been in the 80s, the first two games was 180. So it was 100 yards more than it had been. So I think that was something that really kind of bothered us. Even at halftime, I was very calm and stoic at halftime. I was like, hey, you're going to win the game. What's bothering you guys right now, which is a really great thing. I'm so happy that it bothers us. We're not just happy to win. Now we're starting to play to a standard and understand when we're not playing to a standard, it really bothers us. So, giving up a long drive and giving up 3 points in the first drive really bothered them. And that means that our guys are maturing, and they're not just playing, they're not just playing to, for the result. They're playing for the way that they play. So, so physically, that was a game we went out and we decided we were going to throw it more than run it early on, and then hope to run it more in the second half and have a lead. As I told our team, we needed the defense to play better to run the ball more. We needed more than 45 plays. Kind of I think you asked that the other night, right, or whatever it was. So, but I think we're a pretty physical team. We'll find out this Friday night. This is a really physical team. You look at their stats, they're about like us in every category. So we're playing a mirror image of ourselves.
Huskers will be in a short week, and that alone as well will bring some different challenges, but there is a nice advantage of being at home.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think especially on a night game, just the fact we can come over here and use the facility and all that stuff is great. That being said, last year we went there, and we were emotionally, physically, and mentally ready. There's 3 levels of ready you have to be. You have to be physically ready, you have to be mentally ready, you have to be emotionally ready. Last week we were physically and mentally ready. I don't know if our defense was emotionally ready, and that's hard to do. That's why teams don't go undefeated very often unless they're way more talented. It's just very hard to win every game. I thought our offense was definitely emotionally ready, right? But last year when we went to this game, we were all 3, all right? And they were a really good team. There's nothing that was going to stop us, so can we? While I'm happy we're at home, it's really about those 3 things. Or are we going to be ready to play on Friday night, or is it going to be about all this other stuff? This is going to be an absolute battle. They're a really, really good team, and it's why in preseason when people start asking about the schedule's easy early, is it? I mean, I'm looking at power rankings now, and we have one of the hardest schedules in the Big Ten moving forward that coming out last week, right? So all that preseason fluff everyone talks about is not real. You get to especially now in the transport portal era, you better just get to the season and see who you're playing. And now we're facing a ranked team in week 4, right? And it looks like there's some more ranked. We'll be facing some more ranked teams. The key for us is to play well, so we can be a ranked team. And so this is an excellent team we're facing that's on a mission right now. So we'll have to be ready.
Another thing Rule talked about this week is Nebraska is no longer this darling story. With that ranking next to their name 2 weeks in a row, they are now the hunted.
The other thing that we're now realizing, okay, is. And this Friday night, obviously, it's a ranked team, so it'll be maybe different. But we're no longer like the hunter. Like we're no longer like the unranked team that people are like, who do we have this? Oh, we're playing Nebraska. Oh, okay, we beat them the last 4 years. Now you're the team that your people are preparing for. The UNI players who I had a lot of respect for. I mean, I thought that quarterback was a dude. I liked him too. Was a dude. After the game, they talked about, hey, we talked about this game all summer long, and our guys have to understand that, when then you start putting numbers in front of your name, right? People start saying, oh, we want to go beat a ranked team, So it's not quite your question, but I just do think our guys understand you're going to see different things. So all of a sudden we come out against these last week, and they're bringing 0 in the red zone. It's okay, well, they got us on one. Now we need to kick a field goal. That could cost us a game at some point, right? So we have to be better in those areas, and so we're having to do a lot more situational stuff. To your point, Mitch. Because we haven't been haven't had to go down there at the end.
And finally, Friday will be the 400th consecutive sellout for the Huskers against Illinois. It's a streak that's over 60 years old, and it will be an historical night here in Memorial Stadium.
I certainly understand the gravity of it. I think the one thing that's really easy for me and great for me to explain to recruits, the first thing we do when recruits show up here on their official visit is we don't go do some fancy thing. We take a picture with them, and then we walk them right out into the field. And we show them hey, here's the number of sellouts in a row, and here's the All-Americans. And then we talk about the field and how our hope someday is that they win a championship on that field, but also that they graduate on that field. And how the University of Nebraska is not a football factory; it's a place of development, and that's a proof of it. That you can sell out for 400 straight games, and you can lead the country in academic All-Americans. Now they've changed some of the parameters and they're giving some away to other people, but we've been the leader in that for a long time. So it's just a perfect blend of everything, right? And it's what drew me here. It's what draws other people here. So I think getting to 400 will be great. My job, though, is to make sure that we win that game so that people leave happy about it, not anything else. So I'm just trying to stick to football. That
Rule also confirmed here on Monday that Riley Van Poppel, a sophomore, is training to take a 4-game redshirt here in 2024. With the Huskers in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.